Hi everyone, welcome to BohoMystic. Today we're doing the fire signs mid-month reading for the month of August 2025. Just doing a little cleansing myself. I'm cleansing you all in the space that we find ourselves in today. I can't believe it's almost September. We're almost in Virgo season. That's very exciting. Time has gone by so fast. Raise your hand if August has been crazy. I thought it was going to be crazy, and it has been crazy. I don't know if that's a self-fulfilling prophecy, probably, but I mean, I think that it's been a doozy. Even though we've had some really big releasing and surrendering, and hopefully this new moon is going to be amazing, I am pretty beat. I'm tired. I feel energetically tired. And I wonder if any of you guys are feeling that way. So, all right, well, let's get started. So we are starting with Aries. Aries, you're up. All right, Aries, we have a few decks here we're going to be pulling. Let's see what we have for you, sweethearts. For Aries, please, Spirit. Month of August 2025. I will keep them. We have two. Bottom of the deck, we have Child. I just thought of christening, baptism. That's the first thing that came to me. Maybe it's the clothing. But of course, new beginning. Everybody has a new beginning. Everybody's starting fresh. Or they're starting, it's like closing out these huge cycles these past few months and entering new ones, entering new cycles, committing to new cycles. And maybe that's what you're doing. Okay. Noah's Ark. The little toys with the baby are Noah's Ark with little animals, little soldiers with a cannon, and the rocking horse. That Noah's Ark has, it's like getting on, it's giving me like 6 of swords, getting on, all the animals getting on Noah's Ark to go to be saved. And I said something about christening. All right, I don't know how that ties in yet, but if it's a synchronicity for someone, that's really cool. All right, let's put that down there. I'm gonna leave it over here. Let's see what else we have. Okay, for Aries, please, Spirit. All right, that's a lot. We'll take them. Bottom of the deck, we have, I can see it in the mirror. I can see it in the camera. Raven Spirit, call upon or embody Raven Spirit. Messenger, seer. Keen intellect, problem solver, and transmogrify. What did I say about being saved, right? And christening. Is this you receiving messages? Ancestral messages? I've been really tuned in to my ancestors recently, and I'm going to be doing a video. I'm putting that up soon. Yeah, so maybe you're getting messages. Maybe they're asking you to use your voice, you to give a message. Talk about your truth. I feel like a lot of the collective that watches my videos, they're on an awakening path or an ascension path. It's like you're between worlds. Now, Taurus, I think, had between realms, the actual staying card in another deck. And I feel like that's kind of where you are too. I'm feeling very supernaturally. Like I'm getting those feels. I'll keep thinking, or I'll keep trying to decipher what this is. What's underneath this? Eagle Spirit, holy moly. Yeah, okay. Oh, so it is what I'm feeling. Okay. it's like you are the eagle, you are the bird, you are seeing things differently, you are feeling things differently. I feel like you may even feel different to yourself. Like you may feel like a different person. Like sometimes you don't recognize yourself, your feelings, the way you speak, the way what you do, your I don't know, there's something that you even surprise yourself. I know that your previous reading for the month of August really was touching on justice in the legal system potentially, or big changes, or you waiting for some kind of verdict in, or you trying to help someone or trying to mitigate some kind of issue for someone. Maybe this is you now seeing things from a different perspective. Maybe this is you now understanding the bigger picture and understanding your place in the bigger picture. There is something here about this new beginning being that was foisted on you kind of, or that you had to let happen. And by letting it happen, it's like it awakened you to maybe a bigger purpose or bigger lesson that you weren't aware of. Something like that. What else? I'm gonna just take a peek underneath here. Oh my gosh, turtle spirit. You're getting all the animals. This is crazy. It's a 100-card deck. Yeah, patience. Emotionally balanced. Determination, safety, and security. You see how things had to be done, or you see how things have played out in the month of August that have led to the security potentially, or balancing of emotions, or you becoming more balanced. Again, like you don't recognize yourself from where you started out, or the end of July going into August. You feel different, you see things differently, you feel things differently because you went with the flow, but allowing and that surrendering to things that were out of your control potentially. By surrendering to those things, that opened the door, right? That was the gateway opening to your own personal breakthrough, your own personal growth. One more, gratitude. Okay. There are no small thank yous change someone's day. Certain things happen in our lives when you're in the moment. It's the worst thing, or you wish they weren't true, or you wish they didn't have to be the way that they're presented to you. Oftentimes, in the end, you see a silver lining, or you see your lesson, or you see the growth that you've had from that experience. And it does bring gratitude. Not every experience, you don't necessarily feel that way. A lot of things that I know that have helped me grow and become who I am today. I mean, I am very grateful to have gotten through those moments. They're mowing the lawn. Sorry. Well, I'm very grateful that I've gotten through and I have become adept at transmuting and integrating. It's still very hard for me to say that I am actually grateful for what happened or for things that have happened. But I do feel like maybe that's something that you're equivocating with, like you yourself are processing. But I do feel, as I said before, I feel like you are thousands of feet up. Like I said, I felt very supernatural. I was even getting wind in my ears in the beginning. And that's usually for me, that's otherworldly. And I think that you are experiencing something new, or you feel different. That's all I can say. You feel your environment may not even necessarily look different, but I think that you may feel different, because I don't know how you could not. So if you do and that resonates, this is definitely your reading. All right, for Aries, please, for the mid-month, August 2025. To anything else? I see this one, and I want it, and I want that one too. All right, bottom of the deck, we have the Five of Swords. Wow. Did we get the Five of Swords in your reading? I don't remember. I didn't do a deep dive, or I actually wasn't able to go back into the fire signs. I'm just pulling from what I remember, but that feels like, wow. You know, I really enjoy how this book, how the guidebook describes the Five of Swords here. And it's about being quite uneasy. I'm paraphrasing. I don't have the book actually on me right now, so I'm paraphrasing. Something about feeling uneasy in your environment, where you're always looking over your shoulder and always on the defensive, right? Like someone's going to take something from you that you're waiting for the next shoe to fall type of feeling. I may be completely wrong, but I don't think I am. Because it stuck with me when I read that. And I like the way that they say that about the Five of Swords. I think that with all the changes that potentially have come up through now, that you are in this situation, potentially. Or you're coming out of this situation of feeling like the next shoe, you're waiting for the next shoe to fall, the next problem. Like, what now? What do I have to deal with now? What's next? Because there was a lot of angst in your reading. I do remember that. There was a lot of angst. And I felt like there was a hurry for me to get the message to you. But I think you're coming out of that, especially with the birds, with the eagle and the raven. It's like you are coming out of this hypervigilance and going in to a peace of mind, or starting to maybe see, right, that peace is on the horizon, is incoming potentially. What's underneath here? The Nine of Swords. Yeah. I think this is where you've been. I definitely think this is where you've been. What do we have underneath there? The Magician. Yeah. I think that you have felt bombarded. Like you felt the onslaught of Mars. I think you have felt the onslaught of whatever that incoming energy was, because it was intense. Again, if this is resonating, it was big. Especially if this even affected your children, right? Especially with the child. You have merriment. You have merriment underneath the child. Like it stole a lot of your happiness, or it took all the oxygen out of the room for a while. And you've been sort of coping and trying to figure out next steps, what to do. And you've had a lot of sleepless nights. And with the Magician, it's like you figured out, or you're finally getting the energy again to start seeing how to pull yourself out of this. And I think that's happening with the seer, with the raven and with the eagle. It's like you are now finally beginning to see a light at the end of the tunnel. peace on the horizon, potentially. I'm going to take one more look. The Devil, yeah. The Devil and the Six of Cups. Oh, this may have to do with family. You know, a parent suffers when their child suffers. And what's it saying? A parent is only as happy as their unhappiest child. This has been a lot. I feel the heaviness, but I also am not discounting the fact if I feel that you are moving through, that you're moving forward. You are. Because I think you're realizing it didn't break you. It didn't break, and if this is something to do with your family, your child, yeah, it didn't break you guys. And it's like, okay, what do we do from here? And let's move in that direction to solve it. But it's not easy. Not easy. Not easy at all. I'm gonna, 10 of Pentacles, 2 of Wands. Yeah. It's like trying to find your stability again. It's like planning. It's figuring out how to recoup your losses within your family, financially, emotionally, your peace of mind. I mean, a lot. It's like trying to figure out how to regain the stability and the foothold that you had in your life, in your pentacle world. Remember, pentacles, work, finances, but family, health, the world that you have built and created for yourself here in the 3D. Okay. So let's take a look then at your cards, Aries. Let's see what we have. First one, sorrow. Oh. Yeah. Yeah. This is where you've been. There is still a lot of sorrow. It doesn't go away overnight. It's learning to live with it and incorporate it into your life and process it, but also not dwell in it 24/7, because you still have to live your life and do and be and fix, right? Potentially. Thief. Very 7 of Swordsy with the 5 of Swords. I feel like there is a fear of someone coming in and stealing the small steps of improvement, small steps of joy, small healing that you've done. Like I said about the 5 of Swords, right? You're worried about the next shoe to drop, and you don't want it to be this. You don't want another bombshell. You don't want another problem falling in your lap. Maybe this whole change, when I said it, you feel differently. Maybe this whole experience has just changed who you are fundamentally. It's like you wake up one day and you're older, you're more mature, you have more life under you, no matter how old you are. You wake up knowing that life can be hard. It's like you're not protected in a bubble of security anymore, because something pierced that security in your life. And maybe that is your epiphany, and maybe that is your seeing things from an eagle eye view, or understanding and balancing those emotions with the Raven. Seeing it from a different perspective. Seeing life from a different perspective. Maybe that's what this is then. You're different. You know, sometimes when a person experiences big tragedies, big difficult things in their lives, it changes them fundamentally. People who see them again years later or even a while later, it's like you know that they're different. Because you also know that you can't get back what you potentially lost. You just grow and you're just a different person. And I think that may be what I'm feeling. You're fundamentally a different person. Let's see where this is taking you and how to push forward or not let this irrevocably stop you from achieving some peace in your life, some happiness in your life. Let's see. Shadow work, guys. There's a raven again. Healing. Higher self divided by ego and integration. What did I say about integration? Me relating my stories. Maybe that's why you're different. I mean, I know I was, and I am. Shadow work is so hard and so time consuming and very difficult. Let me just be honest, it's difficult. Meeting head on your demons, the boogeyman. But it's necessary at times in your life, especially if you want to be able to move forward. Maybe this is calling for shadow work, or this is what you've been doing. Again, with the ravens, like maybe you've been going into the underworld, crossing realms, like I said, the supernatural. Like maybe you are, and that's what's allowing you to see things in a different way, and finally understanding that whilst this sucks and what's happened sucks, you can begin to see some growth that you can be grateful for in the future. Or you can see some admirable growth in yourself. But even if it's begrudgingly so. Wow, Aries, your readings have been intense. Amazing, but intense. All right, what else do we have here? Oh, guys, we have strength in reverse. So this is the Sunlit Path. It's my deck. Yeah, I'm going to read you some. Power exerted through compassionate persuasion, taming one's beast, exercising restraint, persistence, courage, fortitude, poise, confident, bold, empowered, accessing life force energy. Reverse, though, I actually have reversals on each of the cards, and they have an asterisk by them. Insecurity and vulnerability, misuse of power. Yeah, I think that I actually believe like both of those probably fit this description, fit your reading. Especially, I feel like you may think that someone misused their power. I don't think it's you. I think that you may feel like someone has. Especially if it has been part of a court system or a justice system and you weren't happy with the outcome and all of that. Or just if this was a falling out or a problem in a relationship, personal relationship with a child, like maybe there's a misuse of power, meaning of, taking advantage of someone potentially. But I do think that there is an insecurity here, and this is what you're working on. Like you don't feel big enough to meet that. Like that fish is afraid, wouldn't be swimming up to that shark and understanding that shark fin is theirs. They're the shark, they're the fish. But as I put here with the rainbow, it's balancing. It's balancing your chakras. It's balancing your root. It's balancing your stability, your security, your confidence, right? Your voice, your heart, your mind. I mean, it's everything. You may be tapped in your higher chakras, especially with the raven coming out twice. It is Leo. We are in Leo season. I think this will be turning up, right? It's just too soon. I think you are building your strength. You are building your reserves once again in order to be able to move forward efficiently and successfully. And it's happening. It definitely is. But it feels like this is someone sitting, it's like as though if you were sitting in front of me right now, you would admit to not feeling very strong or very confident, or you feel like your confidence has been shattered, or you don't feel like you have equal footing in this world somehow. Something like that. That's exactly how I feel, like as though we're having a personal conversation and you're like, yeah, I know what I should be doing and I know I'm getting there and I will be there, just I don't feel strong right now. And I would be like, I super understand. I totally understand what you're saying. That's how I feel. I feel like this is a conversation between confidants. This is working. You are working and trying to process this new beginning. What did I say about this? About the Noah's Ark. Saving yourself. Being saved. You are working on saving yourself and your family, potentially. With all the animals going on there 2 by 2. And your child's like protecting everything you've built, and you're trying to figure out how to do those things. That's what I feel. All right, we have call upon or embody fairy spirit, and that's under sorrow, and it's finding the magic again in life. It's finding the liminal spaces, right, where you can pull in source, allow source to fill you up. We have signs and synchronicities, playfulness, honoring natural and liminal spaces. Yeah, it's the playfulness. It's finding some levity in this situation. I know it's very hard to do when you're stuck in this situation, but it's like watching a movie or a show that you really like, and it gives you a laugh. Even though you may feel guilty laughing, it gives you a laugh. Having a wonderful meal or a favorite meal, or having a little treat of something to remind you that you are human, that you deserve things that make you happy. You deserve nice things. You deserve self-care. Something like that. Summer with Thief. Yeah, I think that you feel like your summer has been robbed from you somehow. If you're in the northern hemisphere, this is what I'm feeling. Let's just switch it to winter if you're not in the north, if you're in the southern hemisphere. I think that you feel like your season has been taken from you. What you could enjoy and what you would normally enjoy, and it's like you've been dealing with this when you've had so many other things to deal with, but you haven't been able to focus on anything or do anything else except deal with whatever is at hand. You've spent the summer waiting again for the other shoe to drop. You've been hypervigilant, worried that someone was going to take away the little bit that was remaining of your sanity away from you again. Nadis. And this is constraints, delays, overcoming limitations, endurance, survival, growth through adversity, saving for a rainy day, needs and necessities. So these are the growing points in our lives that are there to push us through to survive, to learn how to survive and to grow. These are things that stop us in our tracks. These are our basic necessities and needs of survival. And I think that you've been dealing and working through all of these constraints that have been placed on you or on someone that you love. But this is where the raven comes in, and the raven and the eagle come in with that different perspective. Sometimes we are stopped in our tracks and held in place because we should be. Because that's the lesson. You're going to learn. The lesson is going to be learned from that blockage, not from what's at the end of that cycle. And I think that you may be realizing that. Again, it's like seeing, I don't want to say silver lining, because if I was going through something difficult and someone said it to me, that would irk me. It's like you're starting to see that the growth opportunity, there is something admirable, and there's potentially something to be grateful for through the growth opportunity. Ten of Swords, yes. Under Strength in reverse. Honey, this is you. I mean, you are, wow. And this was at the end of July, I believe, and through August right now. I think you're at the end though, which is amazing. You're at the end, 10 of Swords. You're just shot. You're done. You're exhausted. No wonder you have no strength. I think that you are just, I don't think that you can have one more competing thought, one more fear, one more anxiety, anything. Or at least you couldn't. And you finally got that last sword, right? That last straw that broke the camel's back. And you were done. But the beautiful thing that comes out of this is that you realize that you survived it. And hopefully the person that you love also survives it. And you realize that the sun still continues to rise and the days keep moving, and even though it's offensive at first, and how dare life go on with me feeling this way, you eventually become to appreciate it and understand that you yourself can move on. You yourself can move forward, not move on, move forward. And you can bring others with you. That's why this is where you are now. And this is only becoming. It's I know it's cliche at this point with all the rebirths, and it's admitting to yourself that you survived it. Even when you didn't think you would, you did. So now you know that you need to move forward, but you're just like taking a breather. For the collective that this resonates for, you guys have had a doozy of a month. I would say past couple months. If this is dealing with like a family member and their life and their life path and how that affects yours, I mean this could have been going on for a while. The ups and downs, it's a lot. It's hard. It's hard to live your life and your path and also want to help someone else do the exact same thing. It doesn't work that way, unfortunately. Two of Swords. It's you finally seeing that there's an option, there's a way forward, and making that decision and going towards that decision. It's like, hey, it's like seeing this and knowing that this starts over again. You could stay in this angst and guilt and frustration and anger, or you can see a way out of this and start rebuilding. And I think that you are seeing that it's time to start rebuilding, or that there is a way to rebuild. 7 of Wands. Yeah, look at her. She is fierce. Yes, she's so fierce. But looking at this, it's like as the world was burning around you, you didn't leave your post. You know, yeah, that sounds like the 9 of Wands, wounded soldier or wounded warrior, but no. It's like you were Gandalf and said, like, you shall not pass. I worry though about that, because how much damage have you incurred from you holding out so long and not allowing for the tower to crumble or for things to happen? Yeah, just be careful, because the 7s are reviews. It's a time of review and evaluation. And maybe that's what you're doing. I hope that's what you're doing. You've done everything you could. And even if you had the higher ground, or you felt like you had the higher ground, because I did say about you feeling like this potentially was not fair. There was something unfair. Are you going to stay in that feeling of this is unfair, to the day I die, that's how I feel, and I'm not going to back down from that? Or are you going to realize there has to be a line in the sand eventually for your own health? Forget about everybody else, for your own health and sanity. Like, you deserve a rest. You also deserve to live your life. Don't give that away and that power away also. Don't allow whatever situation this was to steal, right, what you're worried about. And don't let them steal the rest of your joy for the rest of your life either. There's like this, it's a double-edged sword. It's like you're super hyper vigilant, but at the same time, it's like it's not giving up. It's not giving in. It's not giving up. If you decide to choose you, if you decide to start healing and rebuilding your life, it's not giving up if someone else's decisions or actions have impacted their life and you decide to continue with your life. I know you love them and you're there for them, and you will always be there for them, most likely, but it doesn't mean that your life ends, that your life is also done and over with, or you can't move on until they have the freedom that you do. You have 2 separate lives. You're 2 separate people, 2 separate paths. You owe it to yourself you fought hard. I feel like you fought hard enough. It's time for you to move forward now in peace. To search for peace, to accept peace, to will peace in your life, right? To build and manifest peace in your life as the magician, as we saw before. Like, this is like grief, anger, and then feeling guilty and feeling like you can't move on with your life because someone else can't. This is unfortunately, they all become enmeshed, all these feelings and all these lives and all these paths. But I'm here to talk about you, Aries. I'm here to talk about what's needed for you, what also you're deserving of. So don't lose sight of that. Last card the star. You have and you're here to follow your North Star. Exactly what I said about this path. You are here to follow your dharmic path. You're here to write your story. You are here to love and heal and have a renewal of life when life knocks you down a peg or two. Like, this is your story. You're the main character in your story. And if this has something to do with you not being able to move on because someone else can't, they're not the main character in your story. You are. You are. And the best version of you and the most successful version of you will help them in the end. That is a gift that you're giving them and to the world, because we need you. Everyone is needed. Everyone has a purpose here. So please do not lose sight of that. So in your mid-month reading, honey, I need for you guys to dig deep and keep pushing through, even when you feel like you can't, because this is turning. You are at the end of this torture, and you will have a renewal and healing. It's going to take time. It's not going to happen overnight. But I think that you are actually beginning to see this. I mean, you have ravens. You have the eagle. I mean, I feel like you are getting either downloads or you yourself are feeling the truth. When I say the truth, I mean the truth, the source truth, source love. Understanding that there is more to this than meets the eye, and that more is being asked of you. This is not about you sacrificing your life and everything else that you have for someone else. This is about you finding a way to work within those confines and grow from it. All right, Aries, that's what I see for you. I can't wait to see what September has in store for you. I ask that you stay strong and know how beautiful and strong you truly are. And it's okay. Step by step. I've been there. I understand. So all my love always. Till next time. Bye. All right, Leo, you're up. Let's see what August's mid-month reading has in store for you. I remember a bit about your August reading. You were ready to roar. You're being asked to step up potentially, lead others. I know that a few of you had messaged me with some difficulties that you were having and that you felt that there may have been some pressure on you to do those things. But let's see what the mid-month has for you. It could be completely different. Who knows? Let's see. Bottom of this deck, we have the room, which is the living room. The Ace of Pentacles. The Ace of Diamonds. It's like your home, your sanctuary, your safe place. It's where family reunites. Sanctuary and safe place is what's coming to me. What's underneath that? Mad Men. Is this all about what I just said about the demands of your family? Maybe that they're all mad, and they're all, meaning mad not as anger, but as cuckoo, as crazy. Maybe you've had a really big party recently in your home. Underneath that, we have the Scholar. Are you the scholar amongst the madmen? We discussed that, of how you maybe were the first in your family to do many things. And I think I even talked about you being the first to go to college in your family. Yeah, there's something there. But that's funny. That actually makes me laugh, though. I have a levity about it. And maybe you feel like there's a levity about it. Or you're trying to lighten up your mood and knowing you've been coming out of your maybe hermit's mode. You're putting yourself out there again. All right, let's see what we have. Spirit, what do we have for Leo for their mid-month reading for the month of August 2025, please? Month of Leo. Month of Leo. Okay, I'll take that one. Not these, though. Those. Bottom of the deck, we have month of August 2025, I meant to say. Call upon or embody fairy spirit. It's playfulness. Have you maybe loosened up a bit and taken on the mantle, or have decided to join in family fun this month? Go with the flow and see the magic and be appreciative of your family and friends, or those that you consider family and friends, or yeah, something like that. What did I say about levity? I felt like there was levity. I actually found it funny to see those people, like they call them the madmen. And they look like they've been imbibing a little too much potentially. I see fun, like you've joined in the games, the fun in something. So maybe that's what's been happening. Justice. Have things been out of balance? It's not in reverse. I mean, it's the bottom of the deck, but that's funny. Have you been balancing your family and work? Maybe not judging them so hard or others so hard. Or you've been making time for family and friends. You've been balancing your work-life balance. Berkana. Yeah, that's birth, growth, flourishing, liberation and renewal, recovery and rejuvenation. You feel younger? I mean, I don't know. I feel like, wow, this is really, it's a good one. I'm sorry. I feel like I'm on the verge of giggles. That is what it feels like. So I'm trying my best to try to figure this out and also not just start laughing for some reason. Like as though you have a pep in your step, you are out and about, starting new, starting fresh, looking fresh. I don't know, something like that. I don't know. Like doing something that maybe even is a little bit out of character for yourself. Like you've been kind of like repressed. That's the word that's coming to me. Maybe you've been a little repressed, haven't really been enjoying yourself lately, or you've been feeling stifled, and then all of a sudden you've gotten an opportunity to let your hair down and been enjoying yourself. Yeah, something like that. All right, one more. Oh my God. The Wheel of Fortune. This is my deck, the Sunlit Path. Yeah, it's going to be available soon. The reason I just can see the picture in the camera, so I know it very well. Obviously, I created it. What I'm seeing though here, oh my goodness, all I saw, and I know this is not that because again, I created it, but all I saw here was a Ferris wheel. Like, have you been to a fair and you went on the Ferris wheel and you haven't done that like in 20 years or 10 years? I mean, I don't know, or it's your first time or something like that, you know? Again, playing games and having fun. But the fact that you're the Wheel of Fortune, I think this fun that I'm feeling, this merriment that I am feeling is your Wheel of Fortune. I feel like you have been under a lid and that lid came off, and instead of just, because I talked about you like going with the flow and not really doing anything and just sort of like just letting yourself you know, flying under the radar kind of a thing. And now you're all over the place. That's what I feel like. I feel like you're popcorn, like old-fashioned popcorn machine. I feel like you're popcorn popping out. That could be a synchronicity for someone. Yeah, I just got that hard. Yeah, I think your Wheel of Fortune, the wheel, the fun, because I even have a magic wand here. It's like someone touched that wooden wheel. It's like someone touched you, like your fairy godmother touched you with her wand and activated you. That's how I feel. And that would be your Wheel of Fortune. That would be your abundance. That would be what you are getting. A new lease on life. That's really cool, Leo. Really cool. After my last reading, I really needed this energy. Awesome. Ruled by Jupiter, I grow, ruler of expansion. Lucky turn, karma. Turning point, growth. Unexpected events, destiny at play. Fixed signs signifying constancy of change in our lives. I would say this is what did I say? Unexpected events. I'm not sure how or why this happened to you. You would know that. But lucky turn, turning point. It's like you just had fun. All right, I got to do one more. Call upon our embodied dragon spirit. Yeah, you've been breathing fire. You've come to life. It's like a statue of a dragon came to life and just whoosh, all the fire was everywhere. You have been activated somehow. Passion, strength, guardianship, clarity of purpose. I would say passion. That's all I'm feeling from this dragon. You are embodying the passion of this dragon. Awesome. Awesome, awesome, awesome. That is so cool. That is really cool. I can keep going. I'm sure all the cards are going to be amazing and wonderful. All right, well, let's see what else we have then. So we have those. Oh, let's do some tarot. I almost forgot. All right, for Leo, mid-month reading, August 2025, Spirit. What else do we have for Leo, please? That one. All right. For Leo, please. Anything else? Okay. Bottom of the deck, we have the Seven of Wands. This actually just came up in Aries, but the energy is completely different. Seven of Wands, it's like as though you are, well, first of all, Seven of Wands, you have higher ground, you're winning, and it's like king of the mountain, right? Look at all that fire behind her. I love it. She is fierce. I don't know, she looks like Aeon Flux there. Yeah, it's like, I don't know, maybe you're like the world was burning around you and here you are like doing great. I don't know, something like that. I mean, this is a volcano. There's lava just flowing down and you're just standing there holding your own. Maybe this is the wheel turning because of this, because you've been holding everything together for so long. You've been holding everything at bay, right? You've been the defender of your family. You've been king of the mountain. You've been like pushing and putting out fires and doing everything for so long that you have now gotten your lucky break to enjoy it and let someone else do this for a while so that you can have fun. Something like that. The Hermit, yeah, this is where you've been. I think this is where you've been, the Hermit mode. Yeah. And the Death card. Yeah, for sure. For sure. You have, I mean, look at her. It's like all of a sudden you're like, ooh, I can go this way. I don't have to stay in the dark here, you know, fending off all the orcs. I don't know why I'm getting those. You're like, ooh, that looks fun. That looks pretty over there. And you get to go. That's so funny. Three of Pentacles. Yeah, I'm surprised it wasn't Three of Cups, but I actually like this even better. It's like you found people to help you. Like, what did I say? There was someone else down is holding down the fort while you go and have some fun now. That's what I feel. It's like everything's not falling on you. It's now being shared amongst other people. So you actually now have more time to enjoy yourself. This is breaking there, so I want to see what it is. Five of Wands. Yes. Oh. All right. This Five of Wands is not what I feel for most Five of Wands. If you look closely here, I'm not sure. I know there's a lot of glare. It looks like they're dancing with spears. It looks rhythmic and beautiful. Oh. Eight of Swords. Yes. Okay. It looks like as though you're all finding a way to dance and handle competitively, like in a team sport. Again, with the Three of Pentacles and the Seven of Wands. It's like you have found other people to do this dance of life with you and not just you. And that created a lot of joy in you, because I think maybe you were feeling like it was too much. I mean, there's no one else on that volcano. It's just you. Here, the volcano's spewing actively, and there's several of you. It's like the burden has been taken off of you. And that's like a jumping for joy. It's like you, I don't know, having fun, cracking open that beer or something. That's so funny. What a cool and weird read this has been already so far. So thank you. All right. First card, marriage. Ah, marriage and friend. And then you have the living room. Yeah, I think this is people in your life. People that you're committed to and people that help. What did I get? I just got something. Hold on one second. I just got like you recommitting. I mean, there's also a kind of like, it's like you recommitting and focusing on your commitments. It could be actual marriage, like your partner, or just your partner. You don't have to be married, but your commitments, it's like you recommitting to your commitments, but having help from a friend. Because whereas maybe before you were completely inundated, or maybe it was just you two, or there's something about, I'm trying to pick up on what I felt. It's something about you realizing that you need more than just you. Maybe you can now commit to the things that you want to commit to because there are other people who are helping, who are picking up extra work. Someone who knows and understands that what it is you need so that you can be successful in your own endeavors and your own commitments. Something like that. Maybe you'll come back. Turtle spirit. Call upon or embody turtle spirit. And underneath here we have call upon or embody fox spirit. I think this is this is where you've been. You know, with turtle spirit, it's patience, emotionally balanced, determination, safety, and security. I think this is where you've been. You've been extremely patient. I think you've been holding the house down literally and figuratively. Like you've been doing such a good job that you've been carrying the house on your back type of thing. Like your shell's your home. And you've just been slow moving, slow going. And I think that you've been this fox. You know, adaptable, very quick on your feet, strategic. But, you know, there's a word in here, playful. And that goes back to what we saw with fairy spirit about you're having fun now, merriment. Maybe you figured out a way, right, with being strategic of, again, doing everything you need to do, honoring your obligations and your commitments, but finding time to be playful, having fun. This is your birthday season. This is Leo season, even though it's about to end right now. Maybe you've been really enjoying this season. Maybe you've gotten the opportunity and the freedom to enjoy yourself more than you have been these past few months. Answers. Maybe you've actually communicated. Oh, okay. Maybe you've actually communicated this to your partner or those that you are in commitments to. Those that you have obligations to or you felt obligated to, maybe you've had a conversation, because answers is eloquence, divine communication, truth and flow of wisdom, networking and communication, power of words. Okay, maybe you actually had a sit-down conversation with those that you are in a commitment to or have a commitment with, and told them how overburdened you've been or how unbalanced the work has been on you. And that allowed them to see and understand where you were coming from and made changes accordingly to free up your space and time. And if this goes back to about the family and about the reading I did for the month of August, this could have been you sitting down with your family, like we talked about in that reading, and telling them how it's a lot to be the one who has to help everyone, or the one that has to potentially speak for everyone, provide for everyone, the one that has to do for everyone. Maybe you had that conversation and then it was like, hallelujah, you got some time. They heard you, understood you, right? They were the friend you needed, and they said, we got you. You go and enjoy yourself. They saw how potentially things were a little unfair to you. If that's the case, I'm really happy you did that. I really am. I really, really am. All right. The sun with friend. It's like though someone came into your life, or this could just represent all of the people that you have those commitments with and obligations to. They came forward and took on the load for you. Someone took on a load for you. Yeah, that's all I'm getting with that. I was like, the clarity, they got the clarity from your conversation, your truth, your words, and they went into action and took care of it. Wow, I love this card. Ruled by the sun. Sun, yes, bringer of life, and it's also Leo card, of course. So, and this is your season. Divine masculine, success, happiness, health, and vitality, harmony, burning brightly, clarity, exposure of truths, details, spotlight, child and children. Yeah. Clarity, exposure of truths and details. I mean, harmony. It's wonderful. It's wonderful. I love it. It's also like underneath, it's next to Ansu's. This is also divine communication. In this case, in this instance, I don't think that's what this is. I mean, maybe through you, but it's just like your words, your truth, what you had to say just, it was like sun was pouring out of your mouth. Light was being brought forth from you. That's what I feel. It's really cool. It's a great feeling. You must have felt amazing. That's why I was feeling like that merriment and that elation and that fun. You were like, heck yeah, I should have spoken up sooner. All right. King of Pentacles with the turtle spirit. I think this has been you. Like, again, what did I say? You know, the King of Pentacles is like the minor emperor. I mean, you have created an empire, right? In the physical world. You created the manifestation of security and stability, but not just for yourself, for everyone. And maybe that's been you. Like I said, you've what did I say? You carried the security and stability for everyone, literally, and figuratively, like on your back, right? As the turtle. That's so funny. Aw. And this is you. You know, I love this card. He looks like a wise, wonderful person. And I know that sometimes they have the King of Pentacles as like a miser, tons of riches and all that. I don't see him that way. I mean, I always see him, remember, he's the counterpart to the Queen of Pentacles. And she wouldn't be with a person like that. That's what I always say. I always see them as like the minor Empress and Emperor. Yes, a lot of people could disagree with that. I think they're all, right? The Empress is all the queens and the Emperor is all the kings. Absolutely, I agree. And I have had other kings and queens come up and embody that for me all the time. But right now, let's flow with what I'm saying. You know, love and wondrousness. And he, even though he may have a tight rein over the success and the purse strings and may not necessarily be welcoming everyone and with a hug and kiss, he's the one that's building and fortifying the village walls and stocking up and making sure the harvests are full, you know, things like that, you know, like where there's no chaos in his domain. And I think that's what you've been doing, especially with that underneath here, right? The Seven of Wands. You're like, not on my watch kind of thing. But it's exhausting and it's too much. It's too much for one person to have to do all the time. All right, Six of Swords and Three of Cups with the Fox Spirit. What did I say? How I wished, was it the Three of, I think I saw the Three of something and I said, oh, the Three of Pentacles. And I said, oh, I wish it was the Three of Cups, but I'll take it. And look, here's the Three of Cups. Yeah, I mean, this reading has been wonderful from start to finish. So you figured out, you know, you brilliant little Leo, you figured out how to extricate yourself from too much work, because it's been too much work. And it definitely has to do with the family, with that living room. I mean, marriage and friend. I mean, this is your pentacle world. This is your family. These are your friends. These are people who you consider your family. People who you are obligated to. I don't see this as work. So if this resonates, this is resonating as family, this is your reading. Maybe this is what you're going to be doing. This is a mid-month reading. Maybe you're having the conversation this week. But this is bringing you to joy, not just with yourself, but with your family. You are moving towards this, where everybody is in harmony. Everybody can create, right? Three's creation. Everyone can be happy and create their happiness and create their own balance. And you have been floating on this little tiny boat, this rowboat, this entire time, thinking you had to do it by yourself or you couldn't bring it up to anybody. And you did, and guess what? You've been merry as can be, or you will be merry as can be. You are so deserving of this, Leo. This is really an awesome read. I've really enjoyed it. I mean, thank you for allowing me to do this reading. It's been a lot of fun. I can't wait to see what Virgo season and the month of September has for you guys. So keep an eye out for September's reading. Yeah, much love. Big hug. Talk to you later. Bye. Hi, Sagittarius. You're up. So let's take a look at what your mid-month reading has in store for you for the month of August 2025. Let's start. I have 3 decks. Let's start with this one. All right, Spirit, what do we need to know for Sagittarius for the mid-month reading, please? Sagittarius, please. Sagittarius. Two. Bottom of the deck, we have sickness. 4 of spades, which is also the 4 of swords. Are you healing from a sickness, or have you been down and out? Maybe you're going to get a cold. This is not a major illness. But this is also asking you to take some time to recuperate. He's got heart loss. Heartbreak? But that would have been another card. But that came to me. Like you're in your feels and you're in bed and like you're brokenhearted. You know, I know a few people have been sick, so I wonder if that's going around. Are you going to get sick, or are you taking care of someone that's sick? Maybe that's it. Let's see what's underneath here. Merriment. Oh, but I feel like this is like a group of jesters and people who are like at a outside tavern with their instruments on the ground and they're having one too many cups. Maybe, hangover. I don't know, Sagittarius. Or you don't feel, again, heartbreak. You don't feel like there's any time for rejoicing because you don't feel well. And that's the 9 of clubs, which is the 9 of wands. But these don't go like tarot. I'm just adding mine. I'm just adding that for my own interpretation. Then we also have the soldier. But you're weathering on. It's like even though you don't feel well, it's like you're pushing through. You're pushing through this. Interesting. One more. Merchant. You're still, look at that person. You're still working. It's like you're pushing through. All right, hold on. This is interesting. It's like you're pushing, even though you are sick or ill or you're not feeling very merry right now, you're pushing through to satisfy business or demands or work demands, or you're trying to figure out, I mean, this person's looking at this boat move away. It's like trying to figure out how to save your job, save your career. Wow, holy moly. Push through even though you're not doing well. Yeah, that's what I'm getting. Okay, let's take a look at what else we have here. I do remember some of your reading before, and I know that you were like a million major arcanas in. I've never had a reading like that ever before. And I wonder, and I even talked about having like a soft tower, or if the tower did eventually fall at the end. I'm not sure, and I don't remember. So depending on where you are coming from these past few weeks into August, I feel like this is now the aftermath. It's like this, I don't know if it was an awakening or some kind of huge breakthrough in your life. And I know that we were talking about it not even necessarily being something extremely positive, but it was definitely a line in the sand. It was like pre-August, post-August. And I think that we're really catching you in the middle of August. Like, this is really a mid-month reading for you. And I think it's a continuation of that reading. Yeah. If you haven't seen that reading, you may want to. I'm just feeling called to tell you that. Because I do remember it was like 7 major arcana, I think. It was insane. Like, August has to be a tremendous month for you. So huge change, huge upset, blockages or a release of blockages. I don't know how it's going to work for you. But looking at these underneath here, it may be a release of the blockage and now you're dealing with the aftermath of it. So if this is work or if this is home life or it could be something, it could be them all, a mixture, I'm not sure. So let's take a look. Let's get some more oracle cards, please, Spirit, for Sagittarius, please. Sagittarius, please. What does Sagittarius need to know, please? It's 1, 2, and 3. Bottom of the deck, we have call upon or embody fairy spirit, magic, signs and synchronicities, playfulness, honoring natural and liminal spaces. I'm just going to take from here the signs and synchronicities. I think that you have been bombarded with signs and synchronicities, that it was time for a new phase, a new way of doing things, that the status quo couldn't continue. Because with all those major arcanas, that's what it would have been. You know, when this refers to fairy spirit, it's also talking about the fact that there's magic all around us. So there's signs and synchronicities all around you that you may not even be aware of, right? Not everybody sees fairies. Not everybody believes in fairies. This may be metaphorical. This may be truly that I believe in fairies. So, signs and synchronicities. Are you seeing, or have you been seeing, paying attention to the signs and synchronicities that have been all around you this month and the month prior to this? Yeah. Berkana. It's birth. It's new beginning. Birth, growth, flourishing, liberation, and renewal. Recovery and rejuvenation. Leo just had this, but in a completely different way. Liberation and renewal. Liberation and renewal. I feel like this is a completely new time in your life. I don't know if this is something, unfortunately, it's a heavy one. I think that to get here, it's been painful. Absolutely, been difficult. Seagull spirit. So call upon or embody seagull spirit. Mental acuity, sharpened instincts, seizing of opportunities, and perseverance. I think you've definitely been persevering. You've been persevering through all of this. But I have to say, seizing of opportunities. Maybe you feel like you haven't been seizing opportunities. Like if this fell, maybe it would be in reverse. Or you see that fish or that opportunity really, really far away, and you're now heading in that direction. Or you hope to. I don't know. Wolf spirit. Holy moly, guys. Balancing teamwork and independence, guidance and navigation, trusting your instincts. Instincts again. Maybe you finally gave into your instincts and knowing something had to end, or to accept the natural demise of something that something wasn't for you. Like letting that tower fall. Letting the changes happen. And it's like you stopped fighting them. But they took a chunk out of you. They really did. I feel like they've taken a chunk out of you, honey. All right, let's take a look at what else we have then. Let's get your tarot cards and see what else. For Sagittarius, please. Mid-month reading. Okay. A lot of cards, guys. Bottom of the deck, we have the Two of Cups. All I see is finding your... Six of Cups. I was going to say, all I see is finding yourself. And then the Six of Cups falls. Wow. This is inner child work. This is finding yourself. Finding what and who and how you could have been happy, and that fulfillment and that self-respect and that self-actualization. That's what I'm getting. It's like looking at who you used to be, or what I'm getting, what you could have been. This rocking of your boat, rocking of your world has reunited you with yourself, but guided by your instincts, but your higher self. And there's something there so beautiful. It's like you meeting your inner child in a loving embrace, acknowledging them and giving them a place, their proper place. Oh, that makes me sad. The Empress. I think the Empress was one of the cards that came out of your reading. This is you birthing Berkana in the other deck, right? This is you birthing the new world order, according to Sagittarius. What you will accept, what you won't accept, and you creating the world around you. But I want to say this is you making this lush environment, not only for others, but for yourself too. Loving yourself first and foremost. Giving your inner child that field of wheat, that unconditional love that only she can provide. Oh, wow, guys. Self-love and self-care. Is this what this is all going to boil down to? Maybe. Let's take a look at your cards, Sagittarius. We have the Gentleman. And that's the King of Hearts. So if we did this as the King of Cups, this could be you finally able to stabilize your emotions and not let yourself be overrun by them. Manage them, accept them in others, but establish boundaries regarding your heart. Loving but firm. Loving but firm. Great counterpart to the Empress, right? Us balancing our masculine, our divine masculine, divine feminine is such a beautiful thing. That's when we call in the Chariot. That's when we thrive. That we combine and leave that dualistic approach and be able to truly harness the life force energy within us and move on our path. Maybe that's what you're doing. hope. Oh, look at that. Absolutely. I think you do have the hope. Look at that. Anchor is coming up, or is it going down? Are you ready to pull up anchor and go in the direction of brighter horizons, or are you ready to drop anchor where you are? I would say the first. You're ready to go towards that new horizon, to this ideal of self-love and self-care. Putting yourself first. Wow. Fehu. Oh, it's wonderful. Wonderful, wonderful. Wealth and prosperity, personal power and influence, creation of new ventures, balancing of resources, and social responsibility. I love that, especially the creation of new ventures. Figuring out where you're going, right? You're figuring out where you're going. But it's also balancing of your resources and social responsibility. What are truly your responsibilities, my sweetheart? How much of yourself are you going to give? And how much of yourself do you actually save for yourself? What boundaries are you putting in place? Putting yourself first. Second time saying that. Putting yourself first. Yeah, it's again, putting your oxygen mask on first, right? The Magician. You are beginning to figure out resources. When you're in Magician mode, you finally acknowledge and see the resources available to you and how to use those resources and tap into those resources, all the elements, right? And you start taking and doing and balancing and harnessing, and that's what you're doing. You are figuring out your resources and figuring out how to take them, harness them to move forward in your life. What you can do, what you can manage, what you should ask for, what you can give. You know, it's everything. It's the balancing. Yeah, that's really, really cool. I know it hasn't been easy, but I feel optimism here. I think we're going towards optimism, right? So I'm seeing this here, and this here. Urus, yes. You are this strong ox, right? You're the one that's going through this gateway, this portal. You are finally exerting your mental fortitude, your physical health and vitality and strength. You're summoning your strength to move forward. And I want to say you're also summoning your strength to, again, what did I say about boundaries with this gentleman? It's like loving, but with firmness, because you're also loving yourself now. It's like making a place for you in everything that you give and do and be of yourself. Urus, power and strength, endurance, self-determination, health, healing, renewal, and mental fortitude. You know, please know that even though you may not feel like this right now, you have this to get through this. This is temporary. This illness is temporary. You will be able to get out of this soon enough. That is your direction. Your direction is to go with hope and Fehu and be the magician of your life. So with hope, we have Othala and your place in this world. Oh my goodness. Oh, your core self, your self-identity, which is what we're talking about here in the Six of Cups. It's that inner child. That's your hope. Home, family, identity of place and culture, ancestors, legacies. What's your legacy going to be? Stripping to core self and identity, present day house or land or present day family matters. It's like you have the hope to break those chains and the status quo of your status quo, and potentially in your home, amongst your family, amongst those that share your life with you. It's like, I need to exert now that I also have needs, and those need to be met. But it's identifying those needs, right? And to identify those needs, you need to acknowledge that there is a person to identify, or a part of you that hasn't been identified, respected, given a seat at the table. Wow, this is so self-care, self-value, self-love. Under Fehu, wealth and prosperity, we have the Four of Pentacles. Yeah, I think that, again, with the balancing of resources and social responsibility, I do think that you are concerned about your finances. And I think that you are figuring out what resources are available to you and how you can manage moving forward. Because I did talk about the fact that you felt potentially concerned about your wealth, your career, your job, losing, right? That job, that placement, with that ship leaving him there. Even though he's at the docks, I understand what the card is, but the feeling is him looking at the ship leave. And I think that with the warrior here, with the soldier here, that's what you feel like. So I think that there's a lot of talk regarding that. A lot of concerns regarding that. But with the fact that Fehu is here, yes, it is those resources. But there is an element of wealth and prosperity. So I think you're going to find the resources, and that it's telling you you have the resources available to you. It's acknowledging them, right? You know, she looks like she doesn't want to share. Maybe it's time to make people share, right? She's hoarding this bag. She's like, and you're like, the resources are for all. Especially with this, an Othala, maybe you're having help. There's hope that you're having help from your family, friends, and that conversation needs to be had. For Magician, we have the Knight of Cups. Oh. Yeah. I think that you're going to realize and manifest love in your life. Help. Love in form of help. Someone offering you their cup. Someone coming in to help you. I do. I think it's manifesting help. Even if it's even help from yourself, like love for your own ego and self-love and all that. Yeah, that could work because it's, you know, self-love, self-care. But I think this is you manifesting help. You're asking the universe for help. And I think the universe is saying, we're right here. And this could manifest in family and friends. Breaking down your own barriers and limiting self-talk. You realizing and accessing your resources and seeing everything that's available to you that you're not using. Like, help is on its way. Loving help, not dictatorial help. Loving help. That's what I'm getting, Sagittarius, for that. Two of Pentacles with the Gentleman and Urus, right? The King of Hearts, the King of Cups. Yeah, it's figuring out, it's you juggling. It's you juggling and managing your emotional ups and downs. You managing, competing, emotional I don't want to say outbursts, but emotionality from not only yourself, but from other people. It's like you need to stay strong and not let it get to you. Because that's all I'm getting from her. It's like she's trying to figure the money and the family and the resources, all resources and everything, right? Health. And I think that you may feel overwhelmed by this. And I don't think this is just you. I think this is you again with Othala. I think this is you and your family and family matters. So I think this is you dealing with everybody's stuff. But you need to stay strong and balanced. Because you are strong. You have the ability to do this. You can and will get through this. You will. The Hierophant with Hope and Othala. Huh? I think this is you learning and figuring out pretty much what help is available to you. Like what can trigger hope? It's you studying and evaluating everything ahead of you so that you can move forward. This is also divine communication. And I think you'll definitely need that for your own self-actualization, your own self-growth. So I think this is going to be hard for you. I think this self-love, self-care, putting yourself first, acknowledging the hardships, dealing with potential inner child wounding, this is going to be really hard. And I think that you need to open this communication and be open to receive. And I think you have that hope of growth, of spiritual growth. And this also could be someone who is a counselor, a teacher, someone that you can confide in and receive help from. Again, resources. It's like you have a lot of resources. Be open to them. Acknowledge them. Sometimes they're just there and you know, and many times we just ignore them because, or don't feel like we should use them or tap into them until we have to. So I think that's something big. This is Taurus. You may have a Taurus in your life that you can reach out to. But I definitely think this is you studying and learning. It's like balancing the books. It's checking ways to refinance, creating a new financial plan, creating a new family budget, like things like that. And then telling everybody this is how it's going to be and everybody follows suit kind of thing, right? What I said about firm love with the gentleman over there and the King of Hearts. It's like firm love. I think people look to you. You may be the Hierophant for a lot of people. They look to you to lead them, and you need to say, okay, we need to go in this direction, right? Because you're the hope. You have the hope. So everybody's going to follow where you go. You need to give them the direction. See how it can be all these things. It all depends upon your circumstances. But I think that you're very overextended. And that is exhausting. I think you've had some difficult weeks. I think you've had some big weeks, Sagittarius. 3 of Wands with Fehu and the 4 of Pentacles. Yeah, this is you implementing that plan of resources, of wealth, prosperity, and moving in that direction. and making everybody else march in that direction. I do. It's like none of this. We all have to come together and move in this direction. I do. It's like the Hierophant speaks and you guys go. Personal power and influence of Fehu too. You have personal power and influence over everybody in your home, or those that you live with, those that you share responsibilities and fiscal responsibilities with. You have the influence. You're that Hierophant for them. And you need to balance those resources. And by giving them a direction, you are actually fulfilling your social responsibility to them. Last two cards. King of Wands, Sagittarius. There's the fire. I love it. You have a vision and you're going to enact on that vision. My visionary friend. Look at that with the lion. We're in Leo season right now. And what's this? The Eight of Swords. Yes. It is you moving away. It's okay. It's like you moving away and saving this person from themselves. I mean, who wouldn't want this King of Wands to come up and say, hey, take that blindfold off. You have a pathway down. You don't have to stay here anymore. But no one can really do this for you. It's you doing it for yourself. But it's firing up, right? You know, this is with Magician and that Knight of Cups. Maybe that's, you know, through your manifestation, through your will, through you realizing what it is you want and how to get there. And also accepting help. If you ask for the help, you're getting the help. That cup. It's like that is what feeds your lion. That's what feeds your fire. That's what feeds your strength to move through that Three of Wands that came up just prior. It's like you are conjuring the strength to be the King of Wands. It's like you want to be that visionary again. You want to burn bright again. You want to go and blaze your trail again. But you got to get out of here first. And this is, I think, where you are. Where you're in bed with a sickness. And what did I say? Heartbroken, sad, ill, right? Malaise. And you may be stuck in fear. You may be worried about your job. You may be worried about your home, your family, your resources. Everything is like all around you. It's too much. But you just need to realize things are not out of control if you just take off that mask and realize you can walk down that path. You have resources around you. You need to tap into them. Be the magician once again. You have the resources, be it people, be it family, be it finances, be it love, be it stability and security, even though you may not think you do. You do. You've got to tap into them. You do. This is, again, nobody can be the King of Wands for you. Nobody can be the magician in your life for you. Those come from you. It's an inner harnessing. It's harnessing of inner strength, inner power, inner knowing. And that comes from you. And I think you're going to get there. I absolutely do. You have beautiful cards here. You have a hope card. I see that you have it there. But it's also daring to hope. It's daring for it not to go well, or daring. It's daring. It's daring. Go dare. If you fail, you get up again and you try again. If this path doesn't work, then the next one will. But it's not giving up. You can't stay in bed. You can't stay in bed sick. You need to get up And you got to go and rescue and save what you have around you. Because there's a lot around you. There's a lot around you. Don't let those things perish. So Sagittarius, this is definitely a continuation of what you've been going through. I think the rest of August is going to be a handful, and I think that you're going to start seeing the light, hopefully the next month in September in Virgo season, and you're going to definitely have some kind of true monumental change or in yourself, not just in your life, but in yourself. I really feel this is like, holy moly, healing. I mean, look at all that green. And then the fact that this was right underneath, it's like, there is love that needs to be shared to you, by you, with you. Give the love. Look at this again. Have this heart opening, this heart chakra opening towards yourself. Because that fuels. Love fuels. Love is the reason we're here. Love will fuel you, give you the resource, give you added resources to get going. Anyway, I love you, and I wish only the best for you. Nothing but the best for you. And I would love to hear from you guys if you feel comfortable doing that. If not, I will definitely see you for September's reading. So much love. Bye.